Good morning. You're looking at some Hyannis News footage shot early this morning, shortly after midnight, when Hyannis firefighters responded to a report of a possible structure fire at a residence on Scudder Avenue. The homeowner heard a loud bang and then started smelling an odor coming from the basement. Upon further investigation, firefighters learned that it was a burner malfunction of some sort in the basement, which was handled at the source. It's been a busy 24 hours for Hyannis firefighters. Yesterday afternoon around 4:30 p.m. they responded to a structure fire on Compass Circle and knocked down a fire in the rear wall of that home. The rear wall was also opened up and they checked for extension in the area of a dryer vent. In other news, HN received a graphic from the Department of Health, and as you can see, the numbers on Cape Cod more than doubled over the weekend, rising to 24 confirmed cases, with a statewide total of 646 cases. As you can see, the largest number of confirmed cases are individuals ages 40 to 49 years of age, with the second largest number of people with the virus being ages 50 to 59 years of age. And 93 of the confirmed cases are individuals aged 20 through 29, and 19 and under, we have 18 confirmed cases. So this clearly is not just, at least in Massachusetts, it's not just a disease that's affecting the elderly. And yesterday, the official numbers from the Department of Health also told us that the deaths attributed to COVID-19 also more than doubled, with the number of 5 deaths attributed to COVID-19 at this point. And finally, as you can see on this last page here, it shows the total amount of tests done in the state, and we have over 3,400 by the state public health laboratory and 1,600 plus by LabCorp, and then Quest Diagnostics comes in just under 1,000. So a relatively low number of tests done thus far, and that's why experts believe as the testing increases and becomes more efficient, the numbers are expected to rise. And here you see some photographs that show that it's business as usual in Hyannis for the police and firefighters. Aside from the coronavirus calls, they have to deal with their normal routine calls, which involve the homeless and just people down on their luck. And here you see a gentleman, he's walking along 28. He has a blanket wrapped around himself and he's in his pajamas, and according to sources he was just released from the hospital. I mean, these are the types of routine calls that are also being dealt with by our first responders, so that's not changing. I mean, you saw reported earlier on Facebook, Hyannis News Facebook, there was a drug arrest and a pursuit in Sandwich where they say an officer was allegedly bitten by one of the suspects. So I'm standing out in front of Cape Cod Hospital right now. Outside it's quiet. Out on the street there's not that much traffic, but there is a steady flow of people that I've been watching kind of sporadically come in the door over there. As soon as they come in the door, they're met by somebody with a mask over their face and a clipboard, and then they're triaged to where they should be, with some people going into that tent behind me right there. And those are the people showing symptoms, according to signage that I saw earlier last week. And it's also important to note that over this past weekend across the Cape, first responders have been responding to COVID-19 type of calls where people have been calling in with symptoms related to COVID-19. And the firefighters that are responding to these calls take additional precautions. They say code 19 over the air, and that's when they go into these homes. Well, in some cases have them come out of the home to offer them care. Those types of calls have been going on all weekend long, all age groups, which leads to my next point. If you or a loved one are experiencing symptoms, be sure to let the first responders know what you're experiencing so that they can prepare for it. And now, If you've been following Highness News, you know that these types of reports outside the hospital are really different from the types of coverage that I'm used to doing: emergency, accidents, fires, that sort of thing. And those are the types of things that I would do, and I work and I sell that footage, and that's how I make my living. But right now, I don't mind doing these reports, and I'd like to continue doing them as long as I can do them safely and stay in my car. Um, but in order to do that, I'm going to need some support from viewers that can support. And if you can support, if you look on the page, on the HyannisNews.com page, there's a spot where you can contribute to help expand the coverage, but also to keep things going during this crisis. And I really would appreciate that if you can help out. It doesn't have to be a lot, just a little bit. I don't charge a subscription, but if you can help out, you can do it anonymously. You can also leave your email on that, and I'll get back to you and thank you for it. But it's a way to keep things going, and I'd like to keep the coverage going throughout the night. It's safe to say that Highness News is the only reporter out here all night. I'm keeping a watch on things. I'd like that to continue. Even if we go into a lockdown, they will very likely allow me to be out. If I can do it safely, I will, and I'd be happy to show people what's going on out here and keep tabs on things. So if you can support us, fine. If you can't, that's fine too. I know some people can't. So just wanted to point that out. Reporting from in front of Cape Cod Hospital, it's Highness News.